January 16th, 2018. My name is Bill McCamley. I am a state representative from Las Cruces and Mesilla up here in Santa Fe with your legislative update for the first day of the legislative session. Most of the first day of the legislative session in almost every year is filled with pomp and ceremony and not a lot actually gets done. This is the case. Today we got in at noon, gavelled in. Everyone in the Senate and House side signed their little paper saying, hey, we're here and we're taking responsibility for the upcoming 2018 year as legislators for New Mexico. And then the governor was given a chance to give her State of the State address, which she gives every year. It's important to note that before this address, there was a protest by a group of about 40 to 50 dreamers. These are the children of immigrants that are here illegally, that have so far not been given a permanent status to stay here. We have many of them here in New Mexico. They all wore orange shirts. They give out pins. I obviously one of the majority of Americans, vast majority of Americans, who wants Congress to step up and get a program to allow these people, many of whom have never even been to the country they were born in since they were little kids, a chance to stay. These are fine, upstanding people who contribute to our communities, and just because they lost the luck of the draw to be born in another country and then move here when they were 3 or 5 or 10 or whatever, doesn't mean that they're not Americans and that they should be given a shot at living the American dream just like the rest of us. And unless you're Native American, we're all immigrants from somewhere. They were escorted out of the House chambers. It broke decorum and the House rules before the governor started. That being said, I sure don't mind a little social action once in a while. I've participated in 1 or 2 things myself, and if I'm them, I don't know what to do either. I mean, I'd be really angry that I was not given a chance to be here and contribute to the community and get my education just like everybody else. And I let it out today, and I sure hope that these sorts of protests get to Congress and they get a clean DREAM Act passed in Washington, D.C. so these folks can continue to help our communities. The governor's State of the State address was almost literally exactly the same thing that we've heard every single year. This is my 6th year in the legislature. There wasn't really anything different. There was a lot of focus on all crime all the time. She wants to do the death penalty and 3 strikes you're out laws, both of which other states have moved away from because neither of them work. They spend lots of money and they're not effective. In fact, a lot of the things that she's proposing for crime, including increased penalties, don't work. You don't solve a lot of the crime problem by just putting more and more people in jail for longer and longer periods of time. You solve the crime problem by addressing early childhood education, which the governor has refused to bring up. You solve the crime problem by really working on a workforce training and infrastructure program to develop the economy, an economy that works for everybody. And yeah, she pointed out that in New Mexico, we've gotten a little bit better over the past couple of years. Our unemployment has gone down a little bit, wages have gone up a little bit, but compared to other states around the country, we still lag far behind. And what it shows is that you've got to really invest in the economy for it to work. You can't just cut a bunch of taxes for corporations and millionaires and expect jobs to magically appear. That's not the way things work. That's what she's wanted to do, and we need to do better. Luckily, many of us saw our last governor's State of the State address for this current governor, and we really think that there's a light around the corner. And so that was the bright light at the end of the tunnel. That's pretty much it for the day. We did introduce a lot of bills, a couple of things that I have put in there, including a memorial to ask Congress to protect the medical cannabis users here in New Mexico from the Trump Sessions decision to release the Cole memo or go back on the Cole memo, which protected a lot of those folks. That's in. The net neutrality bill that I've put in is in. We might have to restructure that a little bit and put a new one in, but that's definitely going to go forward. The bill to not allow access to state land for Trump to build a border wall is in. Once again, that would require a message from the governor. I will say that the governor in her speech today said we need more border infrastructure. That does not include a wall. So if she's truly opposed to a border wall, hopefully she'll think about putting that, what is called on the call, and make it legal for us to continue here in this legislative session, though I don't have a lot of hope. But that's the sort of thing that goes on today. Thanks everybody for watching this. As always, if you have questions, comments, or concerns on these or any of the issues, I would love to hear from you, and I'll be back at you tomorrow with what happens tomorrow. Thanks everybody. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Bye.